Hey, I'm Eric Keach. I'm here with Jenaire Hodge, and she is another amazing client at Stronger Personal Training. And we've come on here to talk about her story, to talk about the results she's seen, and everything else in between. So, Jenaire, thanks so much for taking the time to come on today to share your story with us. I appreciate it.
No problem. You're welcome.
Okay, so let's kind of step back. I'm curious to know, and I want to let others know, like, what it was. Like, what was the big struggle? What was the big issue that you were working on to try and overcome that led you to start training here?
I've always been into working out and lifting weights, but I never found a gym that had that more one-on-one
Mm-hmm.
um, type of environment where someone who can just push you a little harder. Because you go to, like, for example, use Planet Fitness or just another club like a generic club, and you're all on your own. So you have to motivate yourself, and sometimes you're not in that. If you're not feeling really good, you're not really in the mood for working out, but you get yourself in the gym, you still want the workout to count and be productive. So I was always looking for that extra something, and my niece had a friend who belonged to Stronger Personal Training, and she would always share these things on Facebook about the shreds and what's happening and things like that. So I just, I was like, this sounds like something I want to get into, especially I just moved here about 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So when I left Maryland, I had a gym that was similar to Stronger. I didn't know that until I actually joined, but it was that one-on-one type environment and that push and that team atmosphere that you get that just kind of like gives you the extra motivation to keep going and doing more and working harder.
Right. Okay.
So
And so you're searching around, trying different things, and you just couldn't find it. And
yeah.
eventually you'd come across this. Now, since you've been part of other places, you kind of had that past experience. Did you kind of know what to expect coming in, or were you still a little bit nervous?
I wasn't nervous. I just wasn't sure exactly what it is. I had something in mind, but I wasn't quite sure what it actually would be like until I actually got there. So
Okay. And so you hop on board and you're part of it and you're going through. Tell me what it ended up being like kind of like what it was like being part of it in the atmosphere.
well, when I first joined, after my first day, I did I think it was a 30-day trial.
Mm-hmm.
I did that and I loved it from the beginning. The way they create the workouts, just different workouts each time, the team atmosphere, the pushing, the kind of like seeing, like if you're doing a certain exercise and your form is not right, they're able to correct that and make sure you go a little deeper, a little harder, and your form is correct. So like all that just made it like just come full circle. And just kind of like this is what I was looking for. This is
Mm.
similar to what I was thinking um, the gym would be, and it actually was. And then when I did team, because I have the strength training and then a team conditioning, you're there with a group of people who want the same thing. And like you said, even if you don't feel like working out today, you come in, that energy gives you that motivation to keep going, and everyone in your group is pushing you, encouraging you. It's just, and the coaches just pump you up. So it's like the perfect environment.
And so you had experience, right, coming from Maryland, something before you. So
Yeah.
had this met those or exceeded those expectations?
It met and exceeded because I used to work out like maybe 2.5 hours a day, and I feel like I get the same results in a short amount of time, which is good. No
Okay,
one
so
spent 3 hours in the in the
yeah.
gym.
So
So
much more efficient, much
yeah,
quicker to get through things and seeing the same type of results in less time.
yes.
Okay. And what's it like? Like you were talking about having the people there. Like I'm curious to know a little bit more about the atmosphere. Is it like a close knit type of community? Is it what's are you guys all pretty social in a way? What's that like?
I would say so because, for example, I met one of my really good friends. Now I met her at a gym, and when I was there probably about a year, and then she joined. At the time, I didn't know who she was, and she looked new because you have that new vibe when you join someplace. You're kind of like looking around, not quite sure what to do. So I introduced myself to her and started talking to her and giving her encouragement, and we have been like best friends ever since. Like we became really close, and
Mm.
just kind of being there to motivate her. And I had it done to me when I first joined. Everyone was like, "Oh, how are you? How did you hear about us?" And that type of environment where you don't feel as if you stick out like a sore thumb. you kind of just feel like a family automatically. It just, from the trainers to the rest of the staff, as well as the members there, I always felt welcome,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
never felt like I should not be here.
And it's not like it's specifically for any type of person. Anybody can come in and do it.
Anyone,
Yeah.
anyone, no matter your size, shape. I've seen people who are really in shape and they work just as hard as the people who are trying to get in shape.
Okay.
So, and I was amazed. There was one time I came in, there's this older lady, and I was like, oh, I want to be like her when I get to that age. She was doing the workout. I mean, they would customize certain things for her because she couldn't do everything, but she came in there with the best attitude, and she worked just as hard as the 20-year-olds. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I like that.
So it's motivating, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now you've been in there. How long have you been training here for? Over time.
August this year will make 2 years.
Okay. So you've been there
So
2 years. So in these 2 years, what have you seen for results?
Um, for me, it's been like amazing. I think I'm down. I've lost about 75 pounds and
Oh.
maintain it off. Um, and my goal necessarily is not necessarily weight loss, a number on a scale. Right now, I push myself to say how many pull-ups I can do, how many push-ups I can do without stopping. Like, I give myself those type of goals, which helps motivate me more. Because every time I go in there, I want to do better, I want to do more. I remember I did squats with this weight, so now I'm up to this weight, and I just keep pushing myself each and every time so I can get stronger. That's the whole
Hmm.
idea. So the weight will come really close to my goal weight, my ideal weight. That's gonna come when it's ready and when it's time. But right now, just focus on my strength and what I can do physically, and that's been like my motivation.
Right. So you're focusing on the things that you can control and you know you can affect and change,
Yeah,
other than hoping that something is going to
yeah,
come at a certain time.
exactly.
Okay. Now, obviously, during this process, you've, like you said, you've gotten a lot stronger. You've dropped the 75 pounds, but I'm guessing there's been some other benefits of it as well. Things that maybe side benefits, energy or emotional states. Have you noticed any benefits in those areas too?
Yeah, definitely. I'm a much happier person. um, but like my knowledge of nutrition and fitness has just like increased tremendously.
Hmm.
It's fun to be in an environment where you not only learn things about fitness, but you learn about nutrition because they go hand in hand. The staff is very knowledgeable, and then you also have the members who've been there longer who also helps you out. And if you learn to tweak something or you want to tweak something and not quite sure, there's always input there. I love having the Facebook page where you can ask questions and they're answered. And if you're going through anything, there's always someone there. The staff is always there to help you, especially trainers. And it's just the abundance of knowledge that comes
Hmm.
from them. That's like been like the biggest thing for me. I said I'm happy with the weight loss. I'm happy with the getting stronger, but just having that knowledge of how to continue going and not getting yourself back in this place again. It's what's important too.
Gotcha. So you've got this knowledge, right? You've got this element where you can carry with you. You're learning. You have people helping you. You're seeing results. I'm also curious to know in the process, right? Have you noticed that maybe sometimes in going through this, like maybe you have a stressful day or stressful moment pops up, that those types of things have been a little bit easier to manage? Have you seen anything like that too?
Yeah, because you're not going through this alone, and there's always someone there. I'll come in one day, and I'll say I'll be doing a certain exercise, and the trainer can definitely tell, okay, what's wrong? You're not on your game today, and I'm like,
Hmm.
yeah, it was one of those nights, and and they kind of get it, and they still work with you and they push you, and that just gives you motivation to keep coming back.
Okay.
So there always gonna be stressful situations. That's life,
Yep.
It's how you handle it, and I think being in that environment just helps you to not necessarily go to food and go to the stress releasers that you normally would have, and use exercise as a way to release that stress and to work things out. And no one's perfect. You're gonna have your off days here and there. I've had my off days here and there, but I consistently come back and keep going and keep never be
Hmm.
out of the gym for more than a certain time and just
Right.
keep staying focused. So that's important.
Have friends and family and notice the differences and the changes in you?
Yeah, I mean that's not physically. I think overall my whole mindset and just the way I am in general and the energy level. My daughter thinks she can still beat me in a race, and I'm like, so when the spring comes, let's go. So she keeps me on my toes as well.
And do you feel good about that by doing this? You're probably setting a good example for her and setting up her
Yeah,
future better. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, she's a gymnast, so she is pretty strong and in really good shape.
Hmm.
So I think it's just gonna help me. Like we're gonna help each other because, as I said, she's at that young age. She's 11, so she still haven't gotten to that age
Hmm.
of puberty and development and things like that. So that's gonna also come with a its own set of
Right.
stresses and everything else. So
Now, you've gone through this, right? Obviously, the weight loss, you've gotten stronger, emotionally more balanced in ways you said you're happier. Would you go as far as say that being part of this program has been life changing?
yeah, definitely, most
Okay.
definitely. I mean,
Okay.
even with 20 pounds has been life changing. Just the vast amount of knowledge that I have now, and just my motivation to continue going, and what I'm learning about my body and this the strength. Like when I go and then I'm doing weights that some of the guys can't do, it
Mm.
makes me feel pretty good.
Yeah. And it keeps you motivated to keep going.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Now, what I want to do is I'm curious. Like we talk about your results, talk about the atmosphere. You started touching on the trainers a little bit. I want to talk a little bit more about them because you've been in other gyms, you've tried other things, so you have experience with that. And any trainer who is decent at what they do can get you results. But I'm curious to know more about who these trainers are as people. So if you have it, give me a few words or phrases that describe the type of people that they are.
Caring, they look out for the best interest. Like one of the first things I ask when you come in, you're warming up. How are you? How's your day going? Are you in any pain? Anything hurting? They really care because they want to be able to push you um, during the workout. But if you are nursing a hip injury, like when I first, like I think a good 2 months into it, I did something to my elbow in the arm area, and automatically my workouts changed. But when they changed, it was not changed just to be easy. It was changed so it wouldn't affect that area, but I
Hmm.
was still pushed to continue to work hard. And I just feel as if caring, they understand. It's kind of they've been through that sort of stuff, and they kind of know what we as human beings tend to do. So they kind of have and of course, they probably have dealt with that themselves. So they just know what to do, what to say, how to reach you, no
Yeah.
matter where you are.
Now, obviously, right, it's their jobs to be trainers and get you results, but does it come off like that they're caring because it's their job, or is it like that's truly who they are?
I think that's truly who they are. I
Yeah.
mean, I think um, they have a good staff. They're a good family oriented member, like caring about the
Mhm.
members and um, really looking out for the best interest. And I mean, you can see that not because they're not training just to train, they're not just showing you the exercises and how to do them. They're watching you. They're focusing on how you do the exercises. They're getting to know a little bit more about you as well as a person. So they really care. So when I come in and my daughter had 2 surgeries at a young age, and I would talk to them about that, then they'll like 2 weeks in, hey, how's the daughter doing? How's her healing process? How's PT? Things like they
Yeah.
really care
Okay.
about what's going on.
Okay. And now, let's say someone is thinking of joining, right? But they're kind of on the fence. They're not 100% sure. They're not sold. They're hearing our story. What would you tell somebody to kind of push them over the fence and say, you know what, this might be the right place for them?
It's worth it. It definitely is worth it. Like whatever you think of as a perfect place for you, the perfect environment for you to achieve your goals, just think about this being 10 times better.
Yeah.
It really is worth the um, overall, it's good to have trainers who are knowledgeable, who actually care, and then the members who are the same. Like I'll have members come in there, and we be working out, and they'll like, "Come on, let's go," and we'll do like a little race. So if we're doing a sprint, to get me to run a little faster or push-ups, come on, you got this. The encouragement, the caring that comes across is just I don't think you can get that anywhere else.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, Jenaire, thank you so much for taking the time out today to come on, talk about your story, share all your results. I appreciate it. And I just want to wish you the best of luck in the future. All
Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
right. Take care.
All right, bye bye.